Welcome to the second Soul Street Block Party, a monthly call to update you on the progress that Soul Street has made over the last month and what to expect from us in the month ahead. In this call, we'll be quickly discussing the business development, product development, marketing, our community, and the content that you can expect over the next month and that we've made progress on in March. I'll hand over to Hein to kick us off with an update on business development.
All right, so kicking off. So the two big items that remain on the agenda for the next couple of months will be the security audit and the getting in place of the SolStreet legal foundation structure. Security audit, just to recap from the last block party, the vast majority of that time, the couple of months, is really made up by the fact that you sit in a waiting list. So you commit to the security audit and then you wait. And the reason for that is that there's a lot of development happening on Solana and a lot of demand for these smart contract audits, yet not very many people out there who are able to audit these smart contract codes. So supply and demand, and that leads to a shortage and of course a good payday for the smart contract auditors. But so we go through that process. To recap, we do it not because anyone forces us to do it, but because we would like to play it safe. So ultimately, this is a protocol where people will be transacting with real value assets, and so we want to make sure it's as safe as possible. And then on the legal foundation, it's a similar story. To find lawyers specialized in this field is quite a challenge, and those that do know what they're doing have a nice fat client book and a hefty waiting list. So that would be another thing that we'll be waiting for. But as soon as it starts, that's also a lengthy process. It'll take a couple of months to complete that legal structuring, depending on what is necessary from the local law perspective. And of course, both these things are quite expensive, and they are really the two biggest ticket items that we were raising funds for quite recently. And in the near future, we'll be having a series of communications and materials to sort of introduce you guys to what we did in the fundraising, what we achieved, the amazing people that we've got backing us as a result of that process, and we very much look forward to that. And then we're also working in the background on an update to our tokenomic model. So that is also part of what feeds into security audit. So the smart contract auditors would be looking at the tokenomics, for instance, and seeing whether it aligns with what's in the code. So there's lots more exciting things to come there. We've gotten great feedback from the process of raising funding from VCs who also looked very carefully at, for instance, our tokenomic models and gave us good input for some modifications we can really make sure that these tokens have real utility and value to the users of the protocol, and that would ultimately be what we'd like to achieve.
I'm just going to kick off by, I guess, just having a quick discussion or just sharing a little bit about the sort of Solana Network issues that people are experiencing at the moment, and just to give a sort of high level of what's actually going on there. And really what's happening there is that the network keeps getting spammed, and there's some issues that don't cater for those like increases in transactions per second. So essentially what's currently happening is transactions that are getting spammed to the network are going through, but like something that's a bit slower, like us transacting on SolStreet, is not making it through all the time. So it does just take a lot longer for these things to go through. But we'll share some stuff in the Discord as well. There's no confirmed timeline around this, but they say they've got a stable release on Solana testnet. They're working towards a stable release, and they reckon it's going to be weeks, not months, before they have fixes that are going to improve this, which will then in turn improve the user experience on SolStreet. So yeah, I guess it's just teething pains with all of the growing demand around IDOs and NFTs on the Solana ecosystem. That's really where this is coming from. So it's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. And then on the big one, so we've been working our asses off to get this out. We now have our Mango and Serum version, which is in closed mainnet testing. We're still wrapping up a couple features, and once those are done, we estimate in the next week or two, we're going to start roping in community testers and letting you guys get your hands on that new version. Yeah, there's loads of cool updates in there. There's a whole full UI rewrite that we've gone through on that. We've also then included a few new assets like Luna, AVAX, Orca, and Link. We've also got the ability now to have 10 assets on. Well, we've increased it. We can arbitrarily increase it as much as we want, but we're starting off with 10 assets on the Serum side and 10 assets on the Mango side. So that's also a big pain point that we've had, and we've managed to get around now. And then lastly, as Hein alluded to, some tokenomics updates. We were also then busy working on those smart contracts and the different incentive structures, and incorporating that into the main program. But yeah, very exciting. Nabil will be reaching out to testers from our initial test group, and we'll start giving people the opportunity to start testing that in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, if everything goes according to plan. I think that's about an update from my side. I was hoping to do a bit of a demo, but at the moment, it's not. We're going to spend quite a bit of time waiting for things to go through, and they're failing every now and again. So we'll rather leave that to the testers to have a better experience around that. I'll hand it over to Geoff to give you a bit of an update on marketing side and the growth side.
Thanks, Alexis. Sweet. Just to remind you at this point that these calls are going to be monthly block parties. They're going to be our monthly community calls. So I'm anticipating this to be a bit shorter than the first one we did, given that it's now a matter of routine rather than a first off. So it's good that we're moving through with some more pace here, easier to watch back and to follow, I think. That said, last time I realized from the YouTube timestamps that I spoke for much longer than everyone else. So let me see if I can keep myself in check. To give you a sense of the broader marketing trajectory, and how I see things playing out, how we see things playing out over the next couple of months. We'll obviously be making a lot of noise about the big one when the time comes. That'll be kind of a key focus of our outward communicating, and we'll leverage that to help grow the community, kind of re-engage a lot of the people who've been a little bit dormant in the community since the training competitions drew to a close towards the end of last year. We're then pretty excited to share about our fundraising journey and the fruits that it's borne. We'll then be moving towards pretty pretty enormous amount of hype around our Wolfie NFTs, which I will speak more to in a moment. And then when we get to the July portion of the year, as you probably know, if you're listening to this, we'll be buckling down on token launch. So that's kind of a very broad stroke sense of the next little while. Let me come to Wolfies though, because I know it's a point of interest. And to set the scene here, it should go without saying, we do, part of the reason we want to launch an NFT collection is because it's cool and it's a good thing to build hype around, and because it's fun. But we don't want to stop there, and we certainly don't want to waste our time making profile pictures that are simply going to be kind of a boom and bust passing fad. We pretty committed to integrating these Wolfies, like baking them deeply into the product. So I can kind of tease a little bit of what we've got in mind for that, and how it'll play out over the next few weeks. But as Hein and Alexis have said, there's a little bit of interdependency here between our tokenomic architecture kind of settling in place, as it has been doing over the past couple of weeks and will continue to do over the next few weeks. Between that and then cementing in place the Wolfie utility, and how those are going to be part of the whole ecosystem. But what I can say for the time being is that Wolfie ownership is going to be important for some of the following things, most of the following things. Having a stake and an ownership of SolStreet as a protocol through tokens will be relevant to Wolfie ownership. Aligning your incentives, whether you're a fund manager or investor, more so than they would be without a Wolfie, will be part of Wolfie ownership. Verifying yourself on SolStreet and helping build an identity around your fund, helping create a brand around it, like we're seeing some people do already, and having a Wolfie as a central part of that brand will be part of Wolfie ownership. Getting access to exclusive benefits, which will relate to some of the most important part of our tokenomics as a fund manager or an investor, and some of the most powerful reasons for being involved in SolStreet. Accessing those will be part of Wolfie ownership, and I think I'll draw the line there as to teasing. You can make inferences from that as you will, but all of the above will be part of it. On the note of kind of a visual identity, I've been thinking of late about what our identifying visual characteristic should be out in the big wide world of the internet. And you all would have seen DAOs and NFT projects and protocol enthusiasts putting, a particular emoji in their Twitter name or a 33.3% in their Discord, bio. And I'm pretty eager to look for something like that for us as SolStreeters, which I'm going to be involving you guys as the community in deciding over the next few weeks. And then one more kind of arbitrary note on the NFTs is that I've got a private Discord channel called the Wolfie Insiders group, where I'm increasingly starting to drop in opportunities for feedback, contributions, to kind of involve you guys in the art and the utility and all sorts of things, and pick your brains for what's going to build Wolfies into a really resounding success of an NFT collection that is tied into the protocol. As for how you get a Wolfie, this will be my last thought. I can assure you that as someone who's involved in our community at this point, you are going to have a sort of privileged access to Wolfies. They will be available more widely, but we're going to make sure we take care of you guys, our early supporters. And if you at all involved in the NFT space, you will have seen 101 tweets from NFT projects that say something to the effect of, any engagement with this tweet will be considered for whitelist. And consider this our version of that to you, our existing community. Any engagement around Wolfie activity henceforth will be considered for Wolfie whitelist. So I'll leave you with that and pass over to Nab to chat us through some more community thoughts.
Cool. Thanks, Geoff. Yeah, so a lot to look forward to on the Wolfie side of things. And like Geoff alluded to, we do emphasize our appreciation for the early support we've been given. These are the building times and the real eating glass times. So definitely shout out to all of you guys for being with us, for testing, helping out. We appreciate it so much. And you essentially building the protocol with us. So it will be the perfect product as a holistic artwork of our contributions. Cool. So you may wonder, what is the point of all these roles in the Discord? Well, essentially, these Cubs and Wolves roles are going to be the OG roles of SolStreet, as an homage to early supporters and people who are here active in the Discord, helping us build, and will no longer be available as we grow, and we'll create new roles such as a Wolfie ownership role, as that becomes more and more of a part of our Discord between NFTs and our protocol and how those two intertwine. And yeah, so that's how Wolfies and the roles fit in together. Very eager to see what you guys come up with for that 33.3% or whatever catchphrase we'll be having for SolStreet. I was thinking something like one for one, one Wolfie for one wolf pack, or something like that. I don't know. You guys can come up with far better ones. Speaking of wolf packs, an update on the wolf pack of SolStreet. We'd like to give a first congratulations to the two Wolfpack of SolStreet members, Don Solero and Rigger965, who were the inaugural members of Q1, who managed to make a profit on their seed investment of $830 US. So that's been sent to them. Congratulations to them, and we're excited for the Wolfpack of SolStreet to continue in Q2. Please feel free to apply again if you've already applied and hasn't been accepted. Any involvement you had on SolStreet in the current testing version will be the biggest contributor to whether you selected for Q2, and all the selections should be finalized by the end of April, as we have also begun testing in the new version, the big one. So a lot of exciting things are going to happen in April. Wolfies are going to go crazy. We're going to get testing going, and we're excited to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on it all. Now I'd like to hand over to Pat, who is the star when it comes to keeping up with everything that's going on with SolStreet.
Now that's, let me say, hugely flattering, because it's most definitely a team effort. But yeah, thanks for that. Evening, everyone. Yeah, it's your protocol content specialist behind the weekly and monthly SolStreet reads. Yeah, March has been a great one for us. I mean, not only from a dev and build perspective, but also from a content one. I think we've got into quite a good rhythm when it comes to content generation and production. And with our latest series of mailers and reads, they've really been starting to take on a distinct feel and personality of their own, as they become further cemented as a part of what we're offering with SolStreet. Just starting things off, obviously, with the SolStreet Journal, how that's come to evolve from the start. Many thanks to all of you who've, sort of over the last 2 months taken the time to give some positive and constructive feedback. Like I said, it's really gone a long way in helping me shape these pieces into something that those involved in the DeFi and Solana ecosystem want to read. That it becomes a valuable source of alpha. It's something that they want to engage with on a weekly basis and really use it as a quick week-ending reader, a catch-up. So yeah, the plan moving forward will, and this is also thanks to everyone that they're going to provide that feedback profitably, the NFT one, the plan moving forward will be to include further community-suggested sections, as was the case with that one, with the dedicated NFT projects and feature section. Along with that comes the new SolStreet Journal chat channel. I think you guys have all seen that. And it's I really want it to become an open place for discussing the interesting points from the mailer and other things that you've seen around the Solana ecosystem or DeFi space that you want shared in the mailer. It would be great to be able to go and discuss and share things there, like new projects. Starting tomorrow, what we're going to be doing from the end of the month, obviously it's not the end of the month, but it would be great to be able to recap and show off to the community what they've missed on with what they've missed out on with past editions. So from the 5th one up until the 10th one, those would be the ones that were only sent to subscribers of the SolStreet Journal. We're going to be releasing those as PDFs to the SolStreet Journal chat channel. So if you've missed out on something, we want to go back and really see where we've come from as just an idea that we were busy toying with. It's quite nice to see how that evolution looks. As always, the weekly mailer continues, and that is just our quick sort of dev updates and the changes that we've seen, the latest updates on the protocols, integrations, really everything that our team of stellar devs has been working on. So that's something that we're definitely going to be continuing with. It's again a short week-ending read just to fill you in, and all of those ones come together in our usual Medium publication, the monthly roundup. So yeah, on that last point with the monthly roundup, again, that continues as is, as we've been doing. When you go and receive it to your mailbox via the weekly mailer, you'll be, clicking it to go and view it in Medium. Feel free to sub to our Medium, because hopefully in the relatively near future, we'll be posting some other interesting things today. Plus, if you sub to our Medium, you'll get the monthly roundup directly to your mailbox, and you can just read it there. Lads, that is it from my side. That is your sort of full content update on what we've been up to at SolStreet.finance.
I think I know why some of the people who voted for the 9 p.m. slot didn't pitch. It's because they're busy reading the SolStreet Journal. That you sent it out just before we started, and now everyone's distracted.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that's the case. I really do hope so. At the beginning of that one, I noted, and it's been something quite nice, is that the numbers have really gone up, and I'd like to think it's, and I do think it is just sort of organic growth with it. That's when I look at the evolution again from what it was at the start, just as an idea that we started fleshing out, to what it looks like now. I'm really sort of satisfied with it having become quite a thick boy. So I'm hoping that they're obviously working through it and enjoying it. That would be my Geoff. That would really be what I'm hoping for. That's why they're missing out on this.
I certainly enjoy reading the SolStreet Journal, catching up on Solana ecosystem things. No one does it better than Pat, I think. But okay, maybe I'm biased.
A little bit, I think. A little bit, yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to quickly just give a little bit of another teaser towards the big one. Something that we take a lot of care with is paying attention to feature requests and suggestions from the community, and some things you can look forward to for when testing begins, hopefully in next week, is some things like new assets. So we can confirm that some assets to be added include Luna, AVAX, Orca, and Link, as well as now having the tools to be able to long and short. I'm sure it's going to be a much more exciting and competitive leaderboard for Q2 and during the testing phases. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that's the little bit of a tease on the big one as well. Hopefully have it all in your hands soon. Some questions we got from Profitably. the Phantom Mobile, does it work on the new version? Unfortunately, since the new version has an authorization on it, because we don't want it completely open to the public just yet as we continue to test it, Phantom Mobile doesn't support logging into it just yet. This could change at any time, we're not sure, but it will be open very soon and after community testing concludes, so no need to worry there. Another question from Profitably, thanks for the questions, is advanced trading features. Yes, it will. We will have. We have prepared the advanced trading features in the dev environment, including limit orders, stop limits, stop loss orders, take profit limits. But these have not been deployed to the big one just yet. But it can happen at any instance during the community testing. So as soon as you get your hands on it, it won't be a long wait at all before you can expect those features to come. Cool. And then I think Alexis did cover the question on the Solana ecosystem's plans to solve the degraded performance. Yeah, we do not have long to wait there. They're expecting to release a stable version, which is currently on their testnet, to mainnet in just a few weeks. So we can look forward to above 2,000 transactions per second again. Feels like it's been ages. Eating glass, walking on glass. It's tough out here sometimes, but
unless if you guys go and crash that again with Wolfie's NFT launch and guys bot crash the network again. Please don't do that.
I suppose that's the positive to take away. The network's been so bombarded by the success of the Solana NFT ecosystem. That's a nice way to look at it. But yeah, a hyped NFT launch comes and the network goes to a couple hundred transactions per second. Hope to put those days behind us soon. We should do a SolStreet Twitter raid of the Solana Twitter page. Just be like, when update, when 2000 TPS. I'd be down for that. Cool. So I'll give a minute if you guys have any more questions. Someone posting memes during our live session. Geoff is Geoff's not talking, so he's making memes.
I was hacked.
Anyway, 30 seconds for questions, guys. Anything else?
Okay, yeah, we've got more messages being typed out here. Let's see what's coming through.
Have you shared anything around just how we're going to be selecting that closed test group and how people can show their interest on testing the big one? Have you spoken with anybody around that yet?
Yeah, so we want to begin testing with just a few dozen, not to bombard the server too much. So what we'll be doing is leaving it open to selection, not selection, but showing interest by the SolStreet testers. So if you're in the SolStreet tester group or have the SolStreet tester role, then you'll have the first come first serve privileges. But if you are super keen on testing, you can also just state why you're super keen on testing and we'll put it together. We want to keep it to about 30 max to start, and then we'll keep on adding more testers as the month goes on. And yeah, hopefully we won't be testing for too long and we'll be deploying it very, very soon. So exciting time to get your hands on the big one. I'm pretty excited to just have the big one behind us and move on to the bigger one. I see some questions from Jiro. I understand it right that I should apply again for Wolfpack of SolStreet if I did that at the beginning? No, you do not have to apply again. If you've linked your fund in your original application, then you'll be able to match it. But perhaps applying again if you've achieved more over the quarter and want to supplement your application a bit. We'll only be selecting a few more for the Wolfpack of SolStreet. So with 500 plus applications, it's a little bit competitive right now, but yeah, I mean, definitely have an edge from managing funds in the testing stages. Will there be a possibility for limit orders of a certain percentage?
I'll take those other questions. Yes, that would most likely be a possibility, but at the moment, as Nabil said, so there's no limit orders that will be in the big one yet, but we will be including those advanced orders, and those would start with just price-based. Percentage-based could be a possibility, but that's not something that we're actively working on. And then the question around the rebalancing, I imagine you're referring to that auto rebalancing of funds that was discussed some time back. So that was something that previously was pretty much impossible, just due to like technical limitations. But one of the things that we've created recently, which allows for the increasing of the total amount of assets in the basket of a fund, that would then also open up a ton of roadmap items, and one of them would be an auto rebalancing type feature. It really just like it opens up a lot of creative sort of style features that we can create for fund managers. So that is something that now becomes possible within our roadmap. It's not planned in for the roadmap. We have a ton of other things, just much higher priority, obviously, just to get everything ready for the big mainnet launch and for the token launch. But after that, those things are possible now in the roadmap.
Yes, I see Profitably also saying, we need to get rid of asset limitations. Consider it done very soon, Profitably. It's going to be a wide new world. Cool. Thanks for the answers. Thanks, Alexis. Great answers. If anyone wants to come up, say a few words, let us hear your voice. The floor is open for 10 seconds to raise your hand and want to come up to speak.
But just for anybody listening to the recording, pop any questions into the comment section of the recording. Feel free to drop them in the Discords. We'd be happy to answer them after the fact, and just hop into any one of the channels or into the MA channel, and we'd be happy to answer those questions as well.
Yeah, you can expect a quick summary. I think we'll go the PDF route, similar to the SolStreet journal, of these sessions as well as a recording on YouTube, so everyone will have access to the wealth of information we chatted about today. That just about wraps us up for tonight. I thank you all for attending live. There is a special thank you to you all. I think we'll have to make a dedicated meme, Geoff, for Anik, Profitably, Rossi, and Avid Learner, the true non-ruggers. Appreciate you guys being here tonight.
Cool, thanks for hooking us up, and I will catch everybody next month.
Cool, see you in a month, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thanks a million.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers.